The Ford Explorer helped kick off the SUV craze in the early 90s, and in the 2020s it's still going strong. In a lot of ways it's been modernized, but in some ways it's kept its old school roots. Let's talk about it. Hi, this is Joe from Way Scarff Ford, and today we're going to talk about this 2023 Ford Explorer XLT 4-wheel drive. Let's dive in. So obviously, SUVs have been around a little bit longer than the Explorer, but for a while they were merely just pickup trucks with a shell in the back and a little bench seat, and they called it an SUV. But when the Explorer first came out, I think it was in the 1989 model year, it kind of revolutionized SUVs. The Ford Explorer was more refined than the inside and outside. It had a more car-like interior, great driving dynamics, and obviously it struck a chord in the US consumers, because now in 2025, we're buying crossover SUVs more than anything. And that's the thing, SUVs have evolved. They've shed their body and frame truck-based architecture like pickup trucks, these F-Series pickup trucks are built on. Now they're built on unibody architecture, a lot more like cars. And even for a while, the Ford Explorer went to a front-wheel drive platform. Front-wheel drive is popular for economics because it makes more room in the interior. You can put the engine next to the transmission. There are a lot of good reasons to have front-wheel drive, but there are also a lot of good reasons to have rear-wheel drive. Most sports cars, like the Mustang, are rear-wheel drive because that improves handling, balance, and feel. So in 2020, Ford switched back to a rear-wheel drive platform. They kept the unibody design, giving it more car-like driving dynamics, help keeping the weight low for a larger vehicle. But now, but in 2020, they switched back to the rear-wheel drive platform. So you have the engine, the transmission, and the power going to the rear wheels. Obviously, you can get them a four-wheel drive, but the primary drive wheels are the rear wheels, and obviously you can get the Explorer with just rear-wheel drive, and then obviously four-wheel drive, or you can call it all-wheel drive, is optional. Versus the prior generation Explorer, where the primary drive wheels were the front. Obviously, you get that one with four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive as well, but the front wheels were doing most of the work. And the front wheels are already doing a lot of work. They're steering the vehicle, they're handling the majority of the braking, so give the front wheels a break. Spread the load a little bit. Make it more balanced, and give the rear wheels something to do. Enough joking aside, don't take my word for it. If you read some car magazine reviews of the Explorer, switching to that rear-wheel drive platform, they applauded it, and they could definitely tell there's a big difference driving that new rear-wheel drive platform in the Explorer. So if you're someone who values driving dynamics, you want something that's fun to drive, obviously that's not always the first thing we think of when buying a family three-row SUV, but when you get behind a curvy road, this thing's pretty fun to drive, and it sets apart from the rest of the competition, because the Honda Pilot, the Toyota Highlander, the GMC Acadia, the Chevy Traverse, they're all built on front-wheel drive platforms. So in a lot of ways, the Explorer is unique. And another nice thing about the Explorer is law enforcement likes to use the Explorer. So when people see this grill getting big in their rearview mirror, sometimes they have a tendency to move out of the way. If you like to drive fast on the left-hand lane, not like I'm encouraging it, and especially this in black, you could easily be convinced, you're a law enforcement. I'm not going to take any chances if I see this grill getting bigger in my rearview mirror. I'm moving over. There are a couple of different power plants available in the Explorer. This one has a 2.3 liter EcoBoost four-cylinder engine. That's turbocharged, pumping out a little over 300 horsepower. Plenty of power. This thing scoots along really nicely. Being a four-cylinder, it's also pretty fuel efficient. That's matched to a 10-speed automatic transmission. That little four-cylinder is a workhorse engine for Ford. We can also find that in the Bronco. It's also the base engine in the Mustang. Being a mid-size crossover, it's kind of like the Goldilocks. Not too big, not too small, just right. Perfect for growing families. We see a lot of families moving up from compact SUVs, crossover SUVs, to mid-size like the Explorer, because they just have a lot more space for you and your family, your friends, your kids' friends. You can fold down the seats, turning it into a cargo van for those big Costco or IKEA trips. We have a power lift gate. Nice big cargo area, and of course you can fold down the seats very easily, turning it into a cargo van, and the second row seats fold flat as well. You have a little bit of storage under here. Looks great in black. I like the black wheel and tire package. Nice upscale interior. Obviously this is not a fully loaded Limited or Platinum, but the XLT is nicely equipped with features. You have this synthetic leather interior, contrast stitching, rotary dial to operate the transmission. Pretty straightforward to use. Heated seats, heated steering wheel. sync infotainment system, rear parking camera. This one has a tad under 33,000 miles. Nice leather-wrapped steering wheel, feels great in your hands. Well, thanks for joining me on this walk around of this 2023 Explorer Limited. Whether you're looking for new or pre-owned, the Explorer is a great choice for a mid-size crossover. We always have a great selection. At Way Scarff Ford, we've been in business 103 years, proudly serving the greater Seattle Tacoma area located in Auburn, Washington. We sell new Fords, new Isuzus, and a very wide variety of pre-owned vehicles, new Explorers, used Explorers, and of course, plenty of used competition as well if you're looking for other brands. I have a link in this video description to our website so you can view our current Explorer inventory. I encourage you to check. And thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.